Hello and welcome to my channel. This is a draft video explanation. Um, Apologies for the video quality. I'm not exact on the best setup. There might be some background noise, but it should be fine. A bunch of people wanted me to do this because people have been getting into Magic and Arena specifically, and they have been asking about draft and wanting to do draft, but not necessarily knowing kind of the ins and outs or the strategy, the process. So I just want to give a quick explanation about how draft works, and then we're going to get into the actual drafting, and I'll kind of go over my general process and some tips, and kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing. So, for the start with the basics. We're going to be opening packs here, taking a card and passing it to the next person. And then we are going to receive another pack with obviously one less card in it, taking a card from that, and doing that over and over until all the cards are gone, and then repeating that for 2 additional packs. So basically we'll be picking from a pool of 3 booster packs per person, so 24 packs in total. And we'll be, after we're done, trying to build the best deck that we can with those cards. Exactly the same here on Arena, except that we don't have actual people right now for the foreseeable future. We have bots, and so besides that, it's the same thing. It's just that knowing that you're not going to be playing against the people in your pool. Yeah, so that's a general explanation. Let's get into it and just start off with the pack. So here, I'm going to be looking at all the cards here, so you'll see that there are a bunch of commons, 3 uncommons, and 1 rare. A lot of people typically, just kind of look to the rare immediately and just kind of take that. I'm not going to do that as much. Here, I'm going to try and take the best card in the pack that also leaves me the most open. So there are several cards that do pop out to me right now. The main ones being Sky Tether and Grotesque Demise. These are both removal spells, so they're both very powerful in that regard. Besides that, I could see you maybe taking Judith here, the rare, or Fireblade Artist. They're both good, but they're not, they're not really fantastic cards. That being said, if we do decide to pick the Grotesque Demise, Fireblade Artist or Judith might wheel. Probably more Fireblade Artist, since Judith is rare, obviously, and it's a little bit more of a powerful card. That being said, I think I'm just going to take the Grotesque Demise here. Again, it's a removal spell. It's absolutely going to make our deck if we end up in black. So that's kind of the thing here, is it's a mono-colored card, so that gives it some points. It's removal, so it gives it some points. And there's the consideration of, is it going to end up in our deck if we are in that color? And the answer is 100% yes. So we're going to go ahead and take the Grotesque Demise here. We're going to remember that there are those Rakdos cards. There's also this Gorkland Wrecker, and other cards like it that might wheel. So I like Carrion Imp is a fine card, kind of. So those are potential cards that might come back to us after they make the round to the other 7 players. So we're going to go ahead and take the Grotesque Demise. Let's see. So here you see that the rare is still in the pack. This rare is pretty bad, and in draft, so that's not surprising. There are some interesting picks here. Lawmage's Binding is another great removal spell. Besides that, there's not really much besides this Chillbringer, which is a pretty powerful card, and it's common. So not too sure about it. Obviously, the awkward thing is that you in this draft you'd rather be in one of the color pairings. So as you can see, there's blue green and blue white. So blue black is not really a color combination in this set. That being said, I feel like it's either Children or Lawmage's Binding. Because again, both are just clearly the most powerful cards. Like the next one would be something like, Rakdos Roustabout, which is not exciting. I could see someone taking Thought Collapse, but that's pretty lackluster to me. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chillbringer. This was not a great pick for us. All of it was kind of not matching our first pick, which is not a big deal. Again, you don't want to base your entire draft off your first pick, but Chillbringer and Law of Mage's Binding are both kind of powerful, the most powerful cards in the pack. And again, I'm just gonna go ahead and take Chillbringer here. That was a tough one. Was just my thought process of it. So we have another Grotesquemize in the pack. Can't go wrong with that. There's also a Senate Griffin, which is fine. Nothing to write home about. Gate Colossus is a powerful strategy if you wanted to go with the powerful Gate deck that is in this format. Azorius Night Arbiter is also a powerful card, but again, the 5-drops are kind of replaceable. I always tend to lean more towards removal, so Summary Judgment and Grotesquemize are kind of the ones that I'm leaning towards. I think I'm going to go ahead and just take a second Grotesquemize. I think you just can't go wrong with just taking removal at the start. So here we have some weird stuff. So Gateway Sneak is a powerful card. So is Summary Judgment, as we know. Savage Smash is also not bad. Same thing with Growth Spiral. All of these are good cards. I think I'm going to lean more towards taking the Simic Guildgate. That seems weird, but in this set, gates are very important. And the other thing is that we're not missing too much. All of these cards are pretty replaceable. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Simic Guildgate. It might look weird, but we'll see at the end how it ends up. Okay, so here we kind of get to some interesting stuff. So we have 2 black-white cards in the pack here. This is kind of a bit, and one of them is a pretty good one in Final Payment. So I'm going to actually make a read. This signals to me that people aren't drafting black-white. Yeah, this is what we call a very hard signal, where it's pick 5, and both these 2 cards are pretty powerful in their own right. The question is, we kind of already have Final Payment going, like a removal going with Grotesquemize. The question is Grasping Thrall worth passing a removal spell? I think the answer is no. I think I'm just going to take the Final Payment here. Again, removal. I kind of like the way that this is going. So yeah, we'll go with Final Payment. And we actually kind of get rewarded here with the Grasping Thrall. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. It looks like we're going to be moving into black-white. I'm going to go ahead and move the Chillbringer and the Simic Guildgate to the side. So picking this in the Guildgate and there and not playing it is really not too much of a downside. Really is not going to hurt us in the end. So that's why, you know, you're kind of okay to make those kinds of picks there, because if you have the read correctly, as we have here, you'll have plenty of playables flowing to your way. All right. So here I'll probably just take Ill-Gotten Inheritance or Rakdos Trumpeter. Leaning away from Rakdos Trumpeter, it's a 2-mana 1/3 with Menaces, or Menaces, 2-mana 1/3 with Menace, which is fine. It's better if you're in red as well, so that you can activate it. So this is not too impressive. We're just going to take the Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Can this sack enchantments? You can sack enchantments, so that's actually kind of nice. It's a little synergy there. Let's see what we got. So we have a few picks here. We got our Grudian, our Noxious Grudian. Wow, it's a hefty picture. Night of Sorrows and Justicar's Portal, which are both not great. I think I'm just going to lean towards the Grudian. It's fine. It's got Death Touch. That was a weird sound. This was our pack, by the way. I recognized it. So this was our previous pack, so it just went around the 8 players. Now this is back. So you see the Fireblade Artist did wheel as I expected it to, and along with these guys. So the Carrion Imp is still fine here, actually. I kind of like to pick this up. Just have a bunch of flyers, and it gains you some life. Might go really well with this deck. Gateway Plus is pretty bad, so like not trying to take this. We're not like playing a 3-color deck or anything like that yet. So yeah, let's just take the Carrion Imp. Let's see. So here we're kind of missing out. I might just take the Roustabout if we decide to splash red, but besides that, we're kind of moving towards the end of the packs where, you know, the better cards are probably not going to be there. Yeah, and you see that here too. Carnival is fine. Might just take this Scrabbling Claw. I mean, this is kind of just whatever at this point. We'll take an Undercity Scavenger. That's not bad. Here we'll just take the Rumbling Run on the side road. Macabre Mockery. Interesting. Oops. Kind of crazy that that wheeled so late. And all that. Alright, so now we are done with all of those cards, moving into the second pack. So now again we kind of want to be taking those powerful cards. Nikia is powerful, but not really what you want. Kind of leaning more towards Summary Judgment. Again, removal. Can never have too much. Twilight Panther's also fine. And wheeling this Orzhov Guildgate would be pretty nice, actually. It would make our mana a lot better. So I'm going to start off with Summary Judgment here, just because it's clearly the most powerful card. And, you know, we'll wheel most likely something from this pack, whether it's the Watcher Giant, the Twilight, the Embrace, or the Orzhov Guildgate. Either the Panther or the Gate were both, like, overjoyed to wheel. Okay. So here, here we could take the Panther. It's a good early creature. 10th District Veteran is not bad. It's not great either. Blade Juggler is a powerful card, but I'm not sure if this deck can facilitate it and if it's going to be that good. It also might just be better to take the Locket, but I'm leaning away from the Locket. I think it's either Panther or Blade Juggler here, just because those are a little bit more powerful than just some random artifact in our deck. So it just depends which of these you'd rather have. I think I'm going to lean more towards the Twilight Panther. I think we can get some better 5 or even 3 drops. This is kind of both. Let's just go with the Panther. Yeah, meow. Oh, and we get the key uncommon in our colors. That is real nice. This is a very powerful card. And it's actually kind of nice because there's not really much else that is in the pack except for the Syndicate Messenger. Syndicate Messenger is really nice, but I think I'm just going to go with the Basilica Belmont. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead with that. And, I mean, you have several factors here. You have the fact that, you know, this is kind of the more powerful card in general. This might be the better card for your deck, but also this is a common and this is an uncommon, so this is a really close call. I think whichever one you take here is both correct, but I think Basilica Belmont is a little better. Ooh, alright. So we have Imperious Oligarch, which is very powerful for our deck. Vindictive Vampire and Carrion Imp are both kind of meh. Don't really want those at this point. We have one Carrion Imp that we'll probably play and not play a second one. So we're just going to take the Oligarch here. Good for our curve. That's the other thing is... if you'd like, you can also change this to look more at your curve. And, you know, so right now we have a lot of stuff on the higher end. We're kind of looking for more cheap stuff and more stuff like that. Here, though, I think we're still going to take the Syndicate Messenger. It's just clearly the best card. Impassioned Orator is not really what this deck wants. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead with the Syndicate Messenger. Would like to get some cheaper stuff here, though. Ooh. So here we have 3 really decent playables. Resolute Watchdog a little bit less so, not as good. But Summary Judgment and Bring to Trial are both powerful cards. Here we kind of have the combo of Grotesque Demise and Bring to Trial, which will both be able to exile pretty much any card in the game. So, or any creature in the game. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take the Bring to Trial. Summary Judgment is nice, but we already have one, and I'd rather just have access to a really great spell that's going to kind of just be a catch-all. Okay, and here we go. Great 2-drop. Concordian Pegasus, great blocker, can also chip in the air for 1. Flying is a really great ability to have in Limited. So we're going to take that. This deck's really come together now. Another Grotesque Demise is insane. Essentially only missing out on the Watchful Giant. So now we're going to go ahead and take the Grotesque Demise. So now we're kind of pretty much locked in. As you see, I've taken pretty much only black and white cards, besides a few cards that we have here in the sideboard. So not really looking to really take anything else besides that, unless I'm given a really big incentive. I think the Watchful Giant here, not excited about it. I actually kind of like the Blade Juggler now. With the Concordian Pegasus, it's kind of good 2 into 3 play. So we're gonna go ahead and take that. I'll take this Undercity Embrace, probably not going to play it. Take this. Now we're just finishing up the rest of the pack. Nothing too much to note here. Nothing too impressive. Yeah, and that's all kind of good. And now we're just going to finish out the pack 3 and just try and get some solid remaining playbills. Another Grotesimize. We will love to have. Syndicate Guildmage, another Bring to Trial, another Grotesimize. I mean, why not? I think at this point, this is kind of the one case where we already have 4 Grotesimize, might just want to can it and play the Syndicate. We're not going to play this Watchful Giant, so now I'm going to start trying to, now at this point I'm going to try and see if we can put a deck together. Probably not going to want to play the Scavenger. All these other cards are pretty decent. Not this so much. Let's get out of here. All these are fine. City Embrace is kind of bad. So, right now we're at roughly 18. I don't know if I would play this. Maybe I would, because if we have Oligarch, yeah. So now I'm just trying to figure out, alright, where are we at? You know, because now we have several things that we could fit into our deck. I wish it would tell me how many creatures I had just outright. Want to make sure you have a good balance of creatures and non-creature spells. I think I'm going to count my non-creature spells right now, just to see the inverse. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. So actually, that's a pretty good amount. So maybe pick up the Syndicate. We also have these. I kind of want to just take another Bring to Trial. We have enough Grotesimize. Yeah, I'm going to take the Bring to Trial here. This is a sad miss. Like, I wish this was not in this pack, so I could justify taking this. Yeah, I just don't think this is worth it. It's like fine. I guess this also deals with 4 greater power creatures. It's really close. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Man. Alright, I'm gonna take the Guildmage here. I think I would have rather had the Bring to Trial, but I'm gonna take the Guildmage here just because I'm nervous about not having enough threats. Right now we have a lot. I guess Ill-Gotten Inheritance to kind of just win us the game, but yeah, I'm gonna take the Guildmage. Now I'm kind of like sad because now I don't have great cards. I don't have great cards to choose from. Consigned to the Pits is a good catch-all, so now I'm actually kind of less sad. Maybe we just take this. It's like not great. If I not great, I mean pretty bad. Could also take Exposed to Daylight, but that's not too bad. Like, this is pretty bad. I'm just thinking of possible things. Drill Bit is like fine, but it becomes bad pretty quick. I think we're just going to take Consigned to the Pit and be sad. Oh, man. Alright, so we have Pitiless Pontiff and Syndicate Guildmage. Pitiless Pontiff is kind of interesting. We have the Oligarch, but we don't have enough. I guess we have one other thing with Afterlife. We need more stuff with Afterlife. I feel like... but I think we already have one Guildmage, and we don't really want a second one, so I'm gonna take the Pontiff, and we'll see what we can muster up. Oh boy. Could take the Vampire, but the Vampire's pretty bad. We're just gonna take this and hate it. Not really much we can do about that. Kind of not getting there on the Afterlife stuff. Afterlife is kind of the thing that this color pair likes to do. Can take this though. I do kind of like this. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take Dead Rebels. That's kind of good. Like this. Another 2-drop. 2-drops are important. Alright, we're gonna take our Goodian. So now I think we have enough threats here. Ooh. We just like run like all the Death Touchers and all the removal. No, I think I'm gonna take the Knight of Sorrows here. I think I don't want too many Grudians, and like this still has Afterlife, so yeah. Take our Vampire. Probably not gonna play that Vampire. Take this for this sideboard, although this is a best of one, so or this draft series is a best of one. Crocodile. Alright. So we finished that. We get a sec to construct our deck together. It's kind of gonna put those in general. Seriously, there we go. Just gonna have it do that. Just to be lazy. Never ended up getting Orzhov Gilded, which is kind of sad. So let's see. We have all these. These are all fine. Probably don't want another one of those. I'm considering about this Dead Rebels. But we don't want Croc. Any of those. Considering the Dead Rebels. Don't really want to cut any of these down here. Yeah, I think we're just gonna cut. Maybe we cut the Undercity Scavenger because that's again another weak card. Could cut Dead Rebels, or we could cut Knight of Sorrows. Here's where I'm going to use the handy dandy checker. So we have 14 creatures, and then we have 10 non-creature spells. It's a little high. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Dead Rebels. It's good. It's like it's not a bad card at all. Like I do like it. I would have liked to play it, but I think we just don't have room. Yeah. So this is what a standard draft deck at the end should look like. You have creatures, you have a decent curve. You see, actually, like, it looks beautiful because our curve is going up this way. You want it to kind of be like that, where you have a lot of early stuff, a good amount of mid-game stuff, and a few stuff at the end here. Right? You see we have only 4 cards that cost 5 or more mana. That's a really good sign. The other good sign here is that we have plenty of cards that have evasion. So we have some creatures with flying, creatures with death touch, more creatures with flying. So those are all great to have. And then at the end, you see that we have plenty of removal. We now have 1, 2, 7, 8 pieces of removal, which is really strong. Oh, I see a lot of people draft and they end up with, 1 or 2 or sometimes 0. And the amount of removal that we have here is really nice, and that's kind of going to carry us. So that's kind of the process. As you saw, like, we picked solid removal, and we just kept picking solid removal, and that just kind of naturally led us to the color. Did we pick up the Law Mage Binding? No, we didn't. But we considered it, and the removal led us in the right direction. So anyways, that's going to be it for the draft portion of the video. We're going to do a few games just to kind of show you how you think about in terms of drafting or of gameplay when you are in a draft format. Again, if you have questions about kind of my choices in terms of my pick process or my picking decisions throughout that draft, feel free to comment, and I'm happy to talk about my decision making. All right, here we go. So the first thing I see from this hand is that we are low on lands. Not too happy about that, so we're probably just going to take a mulligan here. There's nothing in here that's like excruciatingly great, so we're just going to take a mulligan here. It should be fine. This looks fine. I'm not sure if I want to keep the Knight of Sorrows. We just put it on the bottom. I think I'm leaning more towards just putting it on the bottom and just hoping that we top deck well. Yeah. And we're on play here. I like to have our 1-drop. Playing a 1-drop on turn 1, not really something that's too important. And in certain formats, even, like, you can get away with not playing anything until turn 2 or turn 3. We're going to play our swamp just in case, but we're kind of just going to attack in. Bellhunt is nice here, but we don't have our second black source, so it might look a little scary, almost. Alright, so our opponent has a Concordian Pegasus here. Not too bad. There's our Rudian, so we're going to go ahead and attack in here. We're going to threaten the activation of our cat. They're most likely not going to block here. If they do block, we're happy to activate. But, yeah. Opponent's not taking the bait here, and we'll just play our Rudian. Yeah, there, it doesn't make sense for them to make us do it anyway, since, you know, at the very least, we could just let it bounce, or we could kill their creatures. They really have no reason to try and block there. They're going to use their officer, both they attack us. Ooh, what an amazing top deck. So I have a few choices here. I can kind of bluff that I don't have a lot and attack with the cat, and if they block with their dude, we can give it Death Touch and then just pull the Protestamize. Which I think we're going to do. The other thing I could do is just play the Bellhunt, but I think I'm fine activating the cat and trading for their officer. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with the cat here. And I'm not playing my land first on purpose to try and like bait them into being like, oh, he's only got 3 lands. When really I do have a land. So that's kind of me bluffing a little bit. It's not a really big bluff. Again, I still have stuff to do. So this is going to gain me 3 life, and you can discard a Pitiless Persistent Petitioner. Sorry, not Pitiless, that's a different card. Which lets me know that he's blue-white, and since he only has white lands, it seems like he is a little low on lands. That is really interesting here. So that's, you know, nice that he gets the addendum with the lifelink, but it's going to lead him up to getting 2-for-1 from this Grotesque Demise. Which I think I'm going to do now. How am I going to do now? No, actually, we're going to attack all here. Because he could try and double block my Bellhunt, in which case I could Grotesque Demise. There is the 1-mana card that gives +2/+2, but I'm not too worried about that, especially since 2 of my creatures can get Death Touch. So I'm pretty comfortable attacking out here. If they end up double blocking and getting my Bellhunt, you know, that's whatever. Yep. So they're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and Grotesque Demise the Concordian Pegasus, which just resolves, and we blow it out. So that's another thing about these kind of enchantment cards, or kind of cards that lead you up to getting 2-for-1'd. Wow, and they just play land and pass. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and swing out. Alright, cool. We're going to go ahead and just play our Syndicate Messenger here. There's not a lot of graveyard stuff that they can do, so the gaining 2 life or exiling a card, either part of the Carrying Imp, is not too relevant. And wow, they just have nothing. So you kind of see the advantage of having Grotesque Demise or just any kind of removal there. I'm a little concerned. I don't think there's any reason for me to play another creature here. I don't think there's a Wrath in this set. I don't think there is. But either way, there's no reason for me to play another creature here. Sure. And you just kind of see, I've just kind of run them over. And we're just going to BM a little bit and exile their creature, because we can. And there you go. So you can already see like how efficient this deck is. Again, there's not a single rare in this set, just commons and uncommons. Or sorry, a single rare in this deck. Right, you can look back. There's not a single rare. It's just commons and uncommons. But just the quality of the cards is on average better than other decks, than that other deck, and it just has more removal. So it's just miles better, and you saw just kind of our opponent got a little unlucky there, not being able to play their blue spells, but that was not as much a factor as just playing better and having better cards in terms of interacting with your opponent. Alright. Do one more game here, and then I think that'll be all. Again, this is another mulligan for us. You know, we have 3 lands, but they're not the colors we want. I mean, we could play Grotesque Demise, but that's not saying much. It's better to just be safe. And this hand is miles better than our last one. Not sure if I guess I should bottom the Bell Hunt here. The Blade Juggler is nice, and we might be able to play it on turn 3 if they don't have a creature. Are we on the play? I wish I knew if I was on the play or not. But I think we're just going to go ahead and do that. Oh, we are on the play. That's really nice. So, if they don't have a 2-drop or a 1-drop here... Oh, they only have Obligates. Okay. Just going to get them a Forest. We're going to go ahead and play our Guilt Mage. Kind of liking that we took this now. Maybe this will allow us to... Actually, that's fine, because we're going to go ahead and attack first. They have 2 options. They can block or not. So they don't block. And we're going to go ahead, and since we have Spectacle, we get to play the Blade Juggler with 3 mana instead of 5. It's a very powerful effect. So, Swordform Hybrid is quite a powerful card. Interesting that our opponent played Flames here. Looks like there's still Esnia, which is very strange. Okay, first things first. We know that there is the 1 mana +2/+2 instant in the set, so this instantly tells me that they don't have it, because otherwise it would have made more sense to just attack with it. So that lets me know that. Kind of sad. I wish now I brought him to Spring to Trial, but hindsight, it's always 2020, right? So I can play Final Payment here, but it's not that great. I think I'm just going to plan on... My plan is to attack with my Noxious Grudian and... attack and play the Noxious Grudian post-combat. So, yeah, the reason why I'm doing that is in case one of my creatures might die, I can use Final Payment instead. But they just let that hit them, and we're just going to go ahead and play our Noxious Grudian. Alright, so Spring to Trial is going to do really great for that. Interesting. Can't be blocked 2 or less. So, Ooh, I could also just tap it. That's kind of funny. Wasn't thinking about that. So we're definitely playing our land. This is a little bit more of a turn where we have a lot of decisions. And I'm just trying to figure out what the best play is. You could just play the Knight of Sorrows. It's not too impressive. It's not unimpressive either. Are we attacking here either? I think I'm just going to leave with playing more to the board. I'm going to play the Knight of Sorrows. This actually is pretty nice because it allows us to block 2 creatures if they try and attack with their Swordform Hybrid. That's also annoying. So here, I'm not nervous about double blocking because the +2/+2 thing would make it a 6/6. So I'm just going to go ahead and double block here. We're going to either end up with the Spirit, or we're just going to lose our Blade Juggler, which is fine. Yeah, so he kills, which is weird. Which is weird that he kills that. Okay, so I think my plan now is just attack with the Spirit. I'm going to leave the Grudian back. And just pass. Sure. Just destroy target creature, yeah. That's fine. So this is going to become a 6/6. I think we're just going to go ahead and block with our Death Toucher, right? Yeah. So, like, this card is fine here. Yeah. This is another positive of having Death Touch. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Deal him 2 damage. Pitiless Pontiff is also a nice one. I think we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and Alpha, since now we don't really want to keep this untapped. Because whenever a creature attacks with one, yeah. So this doesn't interact well with Angelic Exaltation, so yeah. So yeah, they can block the Blade Juggler and they can block the Guild Mage, which is both fine. Which is leading me to believe that they might have a big creature in their hand. In which case, Bringed Trial would just kind of ruin their plan. Alright, so they just, you know, play a 6-drop here. Oh, they just have nothing? I don't think there's a creature with flash in this set, is there? We're gonna attack first. This is having me a little concerned. Yeah, whenever a creature it's not symmetrical. That card would be so bad if it was symmetrical. I'm really not sure what they might have or why they're not playing it. Either way, I'm concerned. I think I'm going to exile the Ceratops. If they get back a Sauroform hybrid, it's going to be bad. Although I can't make it so that they can't get it back. So I'm just going to exile the Ceratops. Yes, I would like to do that. So, yeah, we are holding up both the activation of Pitiless Pontiff and Final Payment here. If they play something large, again, you can just bring to trial it. If they play something small, we're probably not going to care. Very confused what's happening. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to play that land just yet. Particularly because we just have so many cheap cards in our hand right now. Sure. This is an example of a bad card. A lot of people look at Root Snare and think it's a good card, but if you look, this card doesn't actually save them. It just delays the inevitable, because they're not advancing the board state and they're not dealing with my stuff. So they're going to, you know, go to their turn and they're going to be in the exact same scenario that they just were. Please don't play these cards. And now they're in the exact same position, except that they have one more land. Yeah, it's a good game. We draw another removal spell. We're just able to win the game just by playing our dorky creatures, just because our removal spells are just so much better. If you look, they did not play a single removal spell. So this is what happens when you have a deck full of good stuff and a deck full of bad stuff. Sure. I'm gonna BM even harder by exiling it. And there you go. So I hope that this has taught you a lot about drafting and shown you exactly why people like me draft the way they do. And yeah, if you have questions or you want to discuss some of the strategies, feel free to comment on the video, and be on the watch out for a draft video specifically on the Vintage Cube that's out now. It'll be out until April 1st, so I'm going to make something about that and kind of do a full league on that. But I just wanted to put this out there, kind of give everybody some pointers, and showcase how someone like me does this. So hope you enjoyed this, and be on the lookout for the Vintage Cube video.